Hello friends, how are you? Hope you are doing well. So let us continue our discussion with respect to the previous HSE strategic planning. So next question is about why do HSE risk management programs are failing? So HSE risk management programs are failing, or these failures can be caused because of the use of improper risk matrices, which induces the inaccurate measurements, and there are other multiple causes which can be like risk ignorances, shifts or changes in the threat landscape, and inherently in the form of the risk, mismeasurement of the known risks, failure to take the risks into the account, and failure to communicate those risks to the management. And we can think about the failures to monitor those risks, managing those risks, and failure to use appropriate risk metrics and the measurement system or the control system. Actually, how can HSE risk management be improved? So we can say yes, that HSE risk management can be improved by considering factors like, we can say that the management must be clear about their responsibilities, and same time the employees or the staffs or the associated people with the activities or the business operations shall be clear about their responsibilities with respect to HSE, identifying risks as early on, and be positive, describe the risk appropriately, estimate and prioritize the risk, take responsibilities and ownership related to the risk and opportunities, learn from the past mistakes. So we can think about the lesson learned and utilize them for the future developments actually, and use appropriate strategies to manage the risk, document all risk in a risk register, and keep monitoring it and reviewing it, and if necessary we can revise the risk register also, because it's a dynamic process. Then we think about the next question: how do I make a HSE policy? So as we know friends, that HSE policy should cover three main sections. Like we can say, first one is about a statement of intent. So what is basically the intention of any organizations with respect to HSE? We say that zero accident, zero human injury, zero incidents related to that. So that's what the intention or the company's intention towards the health and safety and environment actually. Then next is about responsibilities for health and safety. We need to have the competent human resource in terms of we can say approved organization charts, where we define the different roles and responsibilities associated to different people. So there must be a competent human resource which can help out to achieve the HSE objectives and goals. Next section is arrangements for health and safety. Like for an example, we need to have risk assessment, we need to have environmental aspect impact assessments, we need to have the different HSE plans or procedures, best operating practices, forms, checklists. There are multiple requirements, and even the resources, the tools, machineries, equipments, right? So those arrangements for health and safety and environment actually. So that HSE policy should cover three main sections, as I said: statement of intent, responsibilities for health and safety and environment, and arrangements for health and safety and environment. Why HSE policy is so important for us? So this HSE policy sets out the management's approach towards HSE, and it explains how any employer will manage HSE in the business, and which should clearly say who does what, when, and how. So the complete understanding related to the business, related to the business's risk and opportunities, we can we can say now that HSE policy is setting out our management methodologies or the approach to deal with the HSE matters actually. So why is it important to follow HSE policies and procedures in the workplace? We can think about the main purpose of following HSE policies and procedure is to bring uniformity to corporate operations, and therefore reducing the risk of unwanted events. So HSE policy procedures provide a roadmap for day-to-day operations. They ensure compliances with laws, regulations, giving guidance for the decision making and streamlining internal processes. What is governance in HSE? So HSE governance can be defined as the frameworks of rules, practices, policies by which any organization can ensure accountabilities, fairness, and transparency in organization's relationship with its stakeholders, internal and external stakeholders. So considering the health, safety and environment, we need to have certain practices, policies, procedures, frameworks, guidelines, instructions, safe operating practices, best operating practices to ensure that accountabilities, transparency, fairness, code of ethics, code of conducts, right, in the organization's relationship or partnerships. What is the relationship between HSE compliance and HSE governance? So HSE compliance focusing on adhering to the policies and regulations, and HSE governance is the key for stakeholders who put into processes and practices the whole operation of compliance, and setting the tone for the entire company's attitude to risk, ethics and business practices. So we can think about attitude towards the risk and opportunities, identification and implementation of actions for the opportunities which you find related to the risk, and following the integrity, ethics, safe work systems and business practices. Next question is about why it is necessary to enforce HSE governance and HSE compliance in any organization. So it's important to follow HSE risk governance and HSE compliance with the relevant legislations, as well as by maintaining the standards set by the laws. So absence of proper HSE risk governance and HSE compliance according to the laws, rules, regulations can affect business and also damage the reputation of the company and clients as well. So next is about what drives HSE performance. HSE performance drivers falling into 5 different categories. Like we can say examples are leadership, supervision, conditional controls, and onboarding practices and knowledge and skill building. So these are certain examples related to the HSE performance drivers. Leadership is considered a driver for safety and is measured in many organizations with excellent safety performances. Now next question is about what are the 7 different elements of any successful HSE leadership. So we can think about the 7 essential elements of successful HSE leadership, like transparency in the business, learning from the past or the failures, trust, confidence, decisiveness, humility and creativity actually. So these are certain elements to make the HSE leadership successful actually. Next question is about what are the critical factors of success and barriers to implementation of HSE management system. So the critical factors for success and barriers to the implementation of HSE management system, first and foremost the important one, HSE culture. Then we can say continuous improvement, employees morale, HSE trainings, coaching, mentorships, HSE performance, sustainable actions, favorable work environment and commitment to the management to HSE policy. Next question is about is EHS is a part of ESG. So we can think about the question is health, safety and environment is a part of environmental social governance factors, which we discussed already in the sustainability and ESG related questions and answers, which already uploaded on YouTube. So our YouTube channel. So we can think about this questions answer. We can answer in this way, like any organization's ESG score is heavily influenced by its HSE team, because simply EHS compliance leads to ESG compliance only, and EHS is an operational requirement and often a contractual requirement as well. In its essence, we can say EHS is more a subset of ESG, environmental social governance, as E is a common aspect, while occupational health safety and employee safety, workplace safety together with CSR comprises the social part of the social aspects of the ESG, and governance G is however is linked with aspects of EHS policies, procedures, guidelines and instructions. So next question is about what is the meaning of EHS compliance or HSE compliance. As I already discussed, HSE compliance is a blanket term which is referring to all the laws, rules, regulations, procedures, programs, roles, policies, efforts put in place to help protect the safety and health of your team and organization, the public as well, and the environment from the work related hazards and dangers. So EHS compliance or HSE compliance is a blanket term. Then we need to adhere to all the rules and regulations, strictly adhere to those all rules, regulations, laws and procedures. How do you define compliance HSE checklist? So a compliance HSE audit checklist is a kind of compliance tool or assessment tool which is being utilized by external or internal auditors to assess and verify uh, any organization's adherence to government regulations, industry standards, and the company's own policies. So thank you very much friends for now, and we will continue our discussion from the next. Thank you very much.